Page 116, problem square root 36, and do not let this happen to you on the EOC. Epic fail.
So important to read the directions carefully and actually answer what the question is asking for. Let's jump right in. A college wants to compare the number of students who rent their textbooks and the number who buy their textbooks. The polynomials below show expressions for each. So the first expression are the students who own their textbooks. They buy the textbooks and then they own it. It's theirs forever. The second expressions show the students who actually just rent them. All right, they just have it for a little bit and then they give it back. In each polynomial, x is equal to a student's first year in college. All right, find the polynomial that represents how many more students own rather than rent their books. So, I'm not going to look at this. This is the question. Find the polynomial that represents how many more students own their books rather than rent them. They're just asking, what's the difference between own and rent? That's what they're asking for. I really don't need to know this extra information about what x represents. That's extra information, all right? Let's read further. If you write your answer in this form, ax squared plus bx plus c, what is the value of b, the coefficient of the x term? All right, that's just telling you, hey, when you get your answer, they want something very specific. They don't want the whole expression. All they want is the value of b, the coefficient of the x term. So I'm going to put a star by that so I remember to answer the question. Give them what they're asking for. All right. Since they're asking for the difference between owning and renting, the word difference tells me, hey, this is going to be a subtraction problem. I'm going to have to take this minus this. So I'm going to rewrite this down below so we can all see it. So this is 8x squared plus 6x plus 654 minus 3x squared plus 9x plus 95. All right? This first part is the students who own, and this second part are the students who rent. Now, before I could combine like terms, notice it's a subtraction, right? So I have to distribute that minus sign. The reason why we could distribute a minus is because this is actually an invisible 1. All right, you don't have to write it, but that's what it is. It's actually negative 1 times 3x squared. Let's do this in green. Negative 1 times 3x squared is negative 3x squared. Negative 1 times positive 9x is negative 9x. Negative 1 times 95 is negative 95, right? All I did was basically when you subtract, you switch the signs. So it was a positive 3x squared, now it's a negative. It was a positive 9x, now it's a negative 9x. It was a positive 95, now it's a negative 95, right? That's a shortcut. This actually shows you why that works. Now I'm just going to bring down 8x squared plus 6x plus 654 because that didn't change. All right? And now all I have to do is combine like terms. Now, I'm going to look, 8x squared goes with negative 3x squared. 8x squared minus 3x squared is 5x squared. 6x minus 9x is negative 3x. And finally, 654 minus 95. You could bust out your handy-dandy calculator, or you could be like me and just do this on the side. 654 minus 95. All right? Borrow the 1. 14 minus 5 is 9, right? Borrow. 14 minus 9. Well, okay, that's 5. And this is 559. Positive 559. Right there. Now remember, it's only asking for the value of b, the coefficient of the x term. So all I'm looking for is this term. The coefficient is negative 3. The coefficient is negative 3. you have to include that minus, that negative sign. So the answer is negative 3. All right. Now, if you were working maybe a little smarter, not harder, you didn't actually have to do the whole problem like this. You could have just seen, hey, they're only asking for the coefficient of x term. So all I wanted to focus on was 6x minus 9x. Excuse me, 6x minus 9x. So 6x minus 9x is negative 3x, and the coefficient of negative 3x is negative 3. And that would have been a shortcut. You didn't have to solve everything all the way through. All right? Either way, the correct answer is negative 3. All right, remember in problems like this, always read it thoroughly to make sure that you're actually answering what the question's asking.